Today on Starto,
What you need to know about choosing a business partner.
having tough conversations.
Words of wisdom.
And stories from hell.
All that and more.
This is Sandy Grayson,
I'm Chris Franks. Welcome to Starto.
powered by Icosa.
Hi, and welcome to Starto, the show for the worldwide entrepreneur. I'm Chris Franks.
And I'm Sandy Grayson.
Sandy, how are you today?
Fabulous. How are you?
Good. Let's see the shoes.
Can you see? Can you see?
On this segment, we're now going to look at your shoes, and we're also going to look at my beer.
Ooh.
I'm drinking an Avery an Avery White Rascal today. It's a fantastic beer if you haven't drank it. Give it a try. So, Sandy.
I need a cocktail.
Yeah. I
missed out on the cocktail run.
I don't know what you were thinking.
After the show.
Oh, right.
The
I
show
was
could
supposed
go-
to wait till after the show.
The show could go off the rails if I'm drinking cocktails because I'm a lightweight.
That's a
You
good
can
point.
handle your beer.
Yeah, that's true. I can. I'm proud of that. So, Sandy, before we get started, tell the fine people in podcast land where they can connect with us.
You can connect with us on iTunes. Starto is the name of the podcast. And you can also watch the video version of our podcast at icosa.co/Starto. And we are on Facebook and Twitter, Starto TV.
Very good. And each week we like to talk about a theme about starting a company. What's our theme for this week?
Theme this week is formation.
Very good.
What does that mean?
Well, every company
I'm just
has one
kidding.
thing in common, which is it's a company. And to create a company, one must form a company. Now, it's a very, very big topic, but it's also a really incredibly boring topic. And since neither you or I are lawyers, I don't think. Are you a lawyer?
I'm not.
Okay. We're not
Are
going
you
to talk about
surprised?
the actual formation, but what we are going to talk about this week is choosing the right business partner. This is a really critical issue and gets screwed up by hundreds of entrepreneurs. So every day, probably,
Yes,
every
yes.
second, actually. So that's what we're going to talk about. But before we do, tell us what's in the news this week.
In the news, I found a really cool new product that I think you guys should all go check out. It was on Indiegogo. They're still going on, so as you're listening to this, you should definitely go check it out and support them. It's from the makers of WTF Jeans. Have you heard of them?
I haven't, but I'm not a very fashion-conscious guy.
Well, let me tell you about WTF Jeans. You're going to be very excited about this.
Okay.
All right. It's for men. It's a small business. It's actually in Europe. They only
Okay.
have 3 people. And what WTF Jeans have a smartphone pocket. And I love this. This is for the jeans. Pulling your smartphone out of your pocket should not be as difficult as drawing the Excalibur out from the stone. Do you ever have that problem?
I cannot tell you how often that is. It's like, oh, God. Oh, geez. Trying to pull it out of my pocket. And I don't wear skinny jeans either.
Yeah.
And I imagine people that do wear skinny
It's
jeans.
even harder. So you can go and get their jeans at WTFjeans.com, I believe, is the website. But they have a new product. It's called the WTF shirt. And it's going to have 2 pockets in the front, specifically designed for smartphones. Isn't that cool?
That
and
is
on the
pretty cool.
inside of the pockets, there's going to be a little gap adjusted for your headphone cable, because I always see you walking around with your headphones all
Right.
disheveled and
Yeah,
tangled.
so-
And they said the coolest thing about the shirt is in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a small cloth that's hidden on the inside, which is perfect for cleaning your glass on your phone.
Oh, that's brilliant.
How cool. So you can go to Indiegogo and you can support this shirt.
Okay,
It's
so I
really
could just
cute.
tuck it into my shirt pocket.
And it would come, the headphones would come out, and they would
Right.
actually go like through your collar. And you could just have your headphones hanging there. and
There's
then you could
only
clean it.
one issue I see with that.
What?
Which is about 80% of the time when I had my headphones in, I'm just pretending to talk on the phone because I don't want to talk to people.
Why? That's not an issue.
No, but then it would hide.
Oh, it hides, I see.
Right. And so when people would come up, they'd start talking to me, and I frankly
No.
didn't want to talk to them back.
No, I think you can still see the headphones. It's just that they won't get all tangled.
All right. I'm going to start using these headphones as my headphones that I use. Nobody will miss that.
I
They'll-
hate these headphones.
Oh, I think they're
They make
awesome.
my head look funny.
They make me look even balder
my
than I actually
hair's
am,
all disheveled.
which is almost impossible.
I feel like I could land planes, though. I do feel smarter with these headphones on. What do you
Okay,
think?
that's a choice. That's one thing I might do.
Okay.
We're going to take a break, but before we do, make sure you stay with us because we're going to talk about some really cool stuff.
Choosing the perfect business partner.
Choosing the business partner.
Yeah.
But who is our sponsor for this week's show, Sandy Grayson?
Axles.
Axles.
Our favorite tees and hats.
They are. And have to say, our friends at Axles, you can find them at cohats.com. They provided us some very, very cool stuff, including some T-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff. And if you're from Colorado, you can support your CDOT gear. If you're not from Colorado,
our crew is always
pretend that you are
pimped out in Axles.
And you can kind of still be
Those
cool.
Are really
you can
nice
drink
hats.
a Colorado beer. You can wear a Colorado hat. And I'll tell you, you'll be cooler because of it. So go check them out, cohats.com or Axles, AKSELS.com.
Very good.
So let's dive back into it and talk a little bit about choosing the right co-founder. One of the most important decisions you'll ever make is who you choose to go into business with. If you make the wrong decision, your company is destined to fail before it even gets started. Make the right one, and you're well on your way to a successful company. Think you can go it alone? You can't. Studies show that in terms of teams of founders are far more likely to succeed than a single founder. So what is a smart entrepreneur to do?
Well, let me tell you. Earlier today, we got some great stories and advice about what you need to know about choosing who or who not to go into business with.
All right, let's take a look.
Check it out.
Hi, I'm Danny Newman, CEO of Roximity. I have been lucky enough to have found a longtime business partner. We've actually been working together for 8 or 9 years now. We actually started off as friends. We started kind of hacking on some stuff over weekends, decided that that we could actually work together, and it's been an amazing journey. Obviously, we fight and we bicker, and we probably are more like a married couple than our actual significant others. At the end of the day, it really choosing a business partner and choosing somebody to spend a journey with, it really is like a marriage. Like, you have to have all of those qualifications, all of those same things come out, because I mean, you're fighting about money, you're fighting about who needs to do this or that. I mean, it's exactly which chores need to get done. Going into it, you have to think like that. I mean, even if everything else looks good, you have to spend time with this person, and yeah, it's probably more important than, or it is more important than your product and your business plan and whatever else you're working on. Like, finding that team and that teammate, it's probably the most important thing out there.
I'm Jim. I'm a Galvanize. I've been starting companies for a long, long time. And who you choose to work with is probably the single most important decision you'll ever make in your life. Yes, you can liken it to marriage. It's the same thing. Who you choose to be your partner, your business partner, is just like, you should put the same amount of attention and energy as you would if you were choosing your life partner, because it will be a divorce when things don't work out, and it'll be one of the happiest, best decisions you've ever made in your life, if it is a good one. And you're talking from a guy that's made both good ones and bad ones. So good luck out there, and spend quality time getting to know your partner. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
So hi, my name is Tony Mugavera. I'm a founder and managing director of Galvanize. If I were looking for the right partner and choosing a business, trust is the biggest thing. Having somebody you trust that will give you good feedback and give you great ideas, and go through stress with you, and you know, you can fight and yell at each other and know that it's coming from the right place. That's the most important thing. If you find somebody who you don't trust, or you haven't known for a long time, or doesn't have a good reputation, there could be a lot of problems, and I've had to deal with it personally, and so I've been bitten by it by a couple different companies that I've started with the wrong people, and so start forming relationships now and finding the right people to start businesses with in the future.
So Sandy, what did you think?
I thought it's interesting how many people compare going into business with someone to marriage and divorce.
Right.
What do you think about that?
It's funny. I've heard that piece of advice several times throughout my entrepreneurial career, and I would absolutely say that. in most cases, I think is tougher than marriage, because depending on how you structure the business, it's harder to get or it's easier to get divorced than it is to get out of business partnerships.
And there's just, I just think it's hard because you're so excited at the beginning and you meet somebody that's like-minded and you just want to jump into business and you're both so excited. And I don't know, listening to the people, give their tips, it seems like everybody has had a bad business partner.
Have you ever had
story.
a bad business partner?
I have.
Really? You want to talk about it?
I don't want to mention any names, but yeah, it started out great. And it's really easy to you get those little warning signs, and it's easy to overlook them because you're so excited about what you're creating together. And then you get so far down the road, it's like you don't want to leave because the business is going and you wanted it to make money. Yeah, I've been there. Man, I've made some bad decisions.
Yeah.
I have. I picked the right marriage partner, though.
That's an important
27 years.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah. And Rich is a heck of a lucky guy.
Thank you.
I will tell you that there is only one person, I told you this earlier, there's only one person in my life that I hate.
Oh.
Only one. And he's an ex-business partner.
You did. Okay, so this leads us into one of my favorite segments, Tough Love with Chris.
Tough Love with Chris. All right. Entrepreneurs of the world, aspiring entrepreneurs, lean in, listen close, because it's time for a little tough love with Chris. I'm going to give you a couple of pieces of advice when it comes to forming a business partnership. First thing, have the tough conversations. Have the tough conversations up front so you don't have to have them down the road. Is it uncomfortable? Sure, it's uncomfortable, but you're big boys and girls. You can have tough conversations. Assume that you're going to have a conversation at some point in life with your business partner where you literally, physically cannot stand to look at that person. Let's assume for a second that you can't stand to be in the same room for that person.
You want to hit them.
You want to hit them, which I kind of do with the one business partner I had. Had, past tense. Let's assume the worst is going to happen and start from that as a foundation. Now, what you said is absolutely right. When you start a business, you're filled with wild amounts of optimism. Some might say even crazy amounts of optimism. Stop. Don't drink your own Kool-Aid, and for a moment, assume that everything is going to go shitty. And start from that as a foundation. The final thing I'm going to say, the third thing, is get a good lawyer. Don't get a lawyer who has been chasing ambulances for the past couple of years and has suddenly decided he's going to do business operations. Find somebody who knows what they're talking about, has gone through really bad divorces of business partners, have created these documents to protect those people, and interview that lawyer and ask them these questions. Ask them, tell me about the worst scenario that you've had as a lawyer and what happened because of it. And finally, just like in a marriage, make damn sure that you have a shared vision. Make sure that you guys are heading the same direction, guys or gals. Make sure that your destination is the same destination. And check in with your business partner along the way to make sure that that's still an agreement. Because I've seen tons of really good business partnerships go wrong simply because people had different exiting points. Mm-hmm. One person wanted to run the company for the rest of their life. The other one wanted to spin it and sell it in 3 years.
Right. I've seen in other business partnerships where there's just like a difference in the moral compass. I've described this to you before, right. Where for some person it's black and white. It is black and white, the decision that you make, and then maybe the other business partner, there's a little more gray there. And that can cause a lot of problems. And you can kind of know from the beginning. You start to see those warning signs.
Well, my first, the business partnership that went really, really badly, and it turned out to be great.
Is what I'm concerned about.
I hope he is. If this went badly, we were so desperate to find technical talent. It was my business partner and I, neither of us were coders, we weren't technical, and we found somebody who was interested in our product, and it's like asking the girl out, the first girl that talks to you.
Okay. That's what you did?
I did that too, actually. She married me, though, so it all worked out okay. Yeah, exactly. It all worked out fine there. But it was such a poor decision because we didn't check those moral compasses along the way. We didn't make sure we had a shared vision. We didn't think about the worst. We didn't have the hard conversations along the way, and it ended badly. And it's funny, based on the conversations we had earlier, based on any number of conversations you could have with a lot of seasoned entrepreneurs, they're going to tell you the same thing. Typically, it's worse than marriage because it's harder to get divorced, and you better make damn sure it's a good decision. Make very, very sure that it's the right person that you want to spend a lot of time with, because, as one person said, you're going to be spending more time with this person than you are with your family.
On that note, I think we should do this has been Tough Love with Chris Franks.
Tough love. I'm going to go ahead and have a sip of my beer.
That was good. People need
Sandy,
some tough love.
So, Sandy, as I do tough love, you're going to make it better. So tell us how to talk those entrepreneurs off the cliff that I just put them on the edge.
Exactly.
Of.
Chris is going to be like, suck it up, princess.
That's right.
And I'm going to be like, it's okay. You can do this. You can do this. So I thought of this quote that I heard somewhere when I was speaking, and I forgot who said it, but it says, if you're only willing to do what's easy, life is hard. If you're willing to do what's hard, life is easy. And this is something that I think applies to this, that you can do this. It may feel a little uncomfortable when you're so excited about launching this $1 million business to start to talk about all the things that could go wrong in the future, but you need to be prepared mentally, emotionally, and most important, legally.
Right.
For what could go wrong. And so have those tough conversations early, put everything in writing. You'd be surprised how forgetful people can be.
Right.
Or even just misunderstandings. I thought I said this, he thought he said that. And if you get that pang of uncertainty, that little bit of doubt, like maybe this just doesn't feel right, pay attention to it. Don't ignore it. Don't listen to those warning signs. You want to get it right from the start.
And occasionally there are alarm bells.
Occasionally
Don't
there.
ignore the alarm bells.
What do they say that? First you get a pebble, and then if that doesn't, then you get a rock, and then if you ignore that, you get a brick, and then you get a brick wall.
That's right. That's a very good point.
So pay attention to the little pebble of, this doesn't feel so right.
It doesn't feel right. Very good.
And you can do it. We believe in you.
We believe in you.
We
Sandy
do.
believes in you.
I do.
I sort of believe
Chris
in you,
wants to
Princess.
kick you in the ass.
That's true. Well, Sandy, we have come to another end of another episode. How do people get in touch with us again?
You can find us on iTunes. Make sure you're sure you. I can't talk.
I know.
Let's start. Let's try that one more time.
I've had 2 sips of beer.
And I'm not even drinking.
Yeah.
And I'm slurring my speech. You can subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. Starto is the way you find us. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter at Starto TV. And make sure you check out all of our videos and our interviews on icosa.co/Starto.
Well, that is all the time we have for this week's show. Join us again next week for another episode of Starto, the show for the worldwide entrepreneur.
Go do great things.